Hi everyone, welcome. Well, it's summer and I'm in the mood for those fun tropical vibes. Today I'm coloring in Birds in the Forest by Denyse Klette, but she is taking us out of the forest and into a tropical paradise with these three flamingos. I just love her character illustrations. They have such personalities and they just make me smile. They're so expressive. I'll be using my three favorite mediums, some alcohol markers, these are the Ohuhu brand, some Prisma Color pencils, and some soft oil pastels. So all of these work beautifully together and they work really well in her books. They've definitely been my go-to for her illustrations. I'm visualizing a blurry, kind of subtle waterfall in the background, and then the flamingos and all the plants are going to be nice and bright and colorful. So I hope you'll join me today, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'll do a combination of on-camera coloring, some speed coloring, and some off-camera work. That way I can keep my videos under an hour and give you a completed page at the end. I do my best to describe what I'm doing and what I'm using, but if something isn't clear, please feel free to ask in the comments. Okay, so let's begin. I'm starting with the flamingos using Ohuhu alcohol markers. I have 4 different pinks that I'm working with, and each flamingo will be slightly different on how I color, but still using those combinations of pinks. And then I'll be adding a touch of light yellow for added highlights and purple for deeper shadows. This is my lightest pink, and then I'll build to the darker ones. Okay, for the tall grass in the background, I'm using a dark blue green. This is BG6, and then a lighter shade for the top portion, which will be PB10. Okay, I'm going to use the same color combination, those two greens, for these long skinny leaves. I think this dark green really frames the flamingos nicely. So I already did a few on the side, and now I just have these ones in the middle to show you. I'll be using the oil pastels in that open background area. That is going to be my waterfall. But first I'm going to add some color using the markers around the borders of the leaves because I won't have to try to get in those tight areas with the oil pastel. And if I end up crossing over the leaves or getting oil pastels in areas that I don't want, then the electric eraser cleans it up really well. If it erases the edges around the leaves, then it will still have some of that color popping through instead of just having white background. And then I won't have to go in with like color pencils or markers on top of the pastels. So yeah, I just think this is going to work better. So I know I want the waterfall, like the two ends in between or on the outside of the water, to be yellow, and the middle part, which is going to be the water, is going to be light blue. So that is why I picked yellow to kind of go in between those leaves, and then the light blue for the middle section. All right, the rest of these leaves are going to get a marker base, and then I'll come back later and do some pencil shading. All right, now I'm just using a combination of some yellows and oranges for the flowers on the left and right flamingo. The one in the middle that has more of like the daisy flower, the centers are going to be yellow, but I want the petals to look white, so I'll be shading with blue and purple. Okay, now for the waterfall background. I'm going to be using these Artist Soft Oil Pastels by Mungyo, and they just work really well in these books. I tend to gravitate towards the oil pastels in Denyse's books. So yeah, they just, I haven't tried, oh, I take that back. I think I've tried another pastel and it didn't quite work as well as these. So anyway, I'm going to choose a white, a really light kind of blue-gray, a light yellow, a little bit darker yellow, and then a more brighter kind of lighter blue. All right, and with just kind of medium pressure, I'm just going to start to color. I'm going up in an up and down motion and just trying to get in close to these areas. But remember, I did use the marker to color in some of those tight areas, so I don't need to get like all up in in there. So just kind of around, and then I'll be using my finger to kind of smudge it. So, but yeah, I'm definitely trying to get more in an up and down motion, and then adding just a little bit of like streaks here and there. And then I'm going to go with the white, and I'm just going to kind of smudge that with the white first. This is going to help not make it so vibrant, I guess. It's going to kind of smudge it and, make it look more cloudy and like hazy kind of in the background. Okay, now taking this really light blue gray, this color is going to be where the water is. So again, still going in that up and down motion because that is the way the water is flowing. So if there's any streaking left after I smudge, then it's going to have that texture of the water and the motion of the water lines. And then taking the white again and kind of smudging that blue. All right, now taking a clean finger, I'm going to start smudging that. Again, I'm going in that up and down motion, and I'm starting with the yellow. I'm going to try not to mix the blue and yellow because I don't want it to turn out green. So I'm trying to be careful not to overdo it here, but just smudging out that yellow and white first. All right, and then taking a different clean finger and then smudging the blue. So you kind of have to put some pressure on there, and I do like the look of some of those like streaky lines, so I'm not totally smudging those out. And then to give it a little bit more dimension and brighter color, I'm going to use that darker blue. And you can use a paper towel. I tend to prefer my finger, but sometimes if I need just a little extra smudge, then I'll grab the paper towel. And I ended up grabbing a green just to go along the edges of the leaves. All right, so I've got my electric erasers out, and as you can see, I wasn't super careful trying not to get the pastel on the flamingos or on the leaves because I know the electric eraser will handle getting it off. So although I try to be a little careful, not going over just the entire thing because I don't want to have to erase so much, it's really not a big deal if it goes over into areas that you weren't wanting it to go into. And then I just take a nice big fluffy brush and brush off all those eraser dusts. All right, they're all cleaned off now. Now for the water. So this is BG68, and I'm going to do this on the top portion of the water. And this is B030 for the bottom portion. All right, now doing this seaweed type of leaf. Everything on the bottom portion is going to be lighter. So if it pokes out above the water, it's going to be a little bit darker. So this is just some lighter and darker greens that I'm using. And this little fish is going to be a combination of yellow and orange. I had a hard time trying to figure out what color I wanted the fish, so they're just going to be some like pinkish and purple fish with a little bit of highlight of yellow, and the stripes are going to be purple. All right, using a little bit of color pencils for highlights and shadows around the ground, little hills where they're standing and where the leaves are coming up from. Not too much, but just a little bit. Okay, staying with the color pencils, I'm going to create kind of this bowl shape where the outer edges are darker and then it's going to be lighter in that middle section. So just shading with a couple different blues. I have 903, 919, and 1086. All right, I already did a couple of these palm leaves, but I'll show you how I did them up here in the top. So I'm taking 912, 9 or 1096, and 989. So just taking the darker color first, sorry, which is 1096, and I'm just gonna go through the creases here and wherever I feel like is gonna be like the darker area. So around the edges that kind of look folded over a little bit. And then I'll take the medium color, kind of go over that, extend that color out, and then 989, which is a brighter kind of yellow green, that's going to be my highlight and kind of help blend all those colors together. All right, now I'm using a colorless alcohol marker blender. You can use it on top of color pencils. I'm still like not sure if it actually works really good or not, but yes, I thought I would try it out. And then just to clean off that tip, then I just rub it on another piece of paper. Okay, so all those palm leaves are done. Now I'm gonna do these other leaves. As you can see, I added a little bit of like kind of pinkish red to them. So I'll show you how I did that. The colors I'll be using are 1031, that's that reddish color, uh, 910, and 1089. That's going to help blend and smooth everything out. So I'm going to use this medium green here and do a little bit of shading around the edges. And now that reddish color, I just want like a hint of that color in there. So, a little bit heavier around that like circle area in the middle. And then I'm just going to drag a little bit of color around the leaf. So concentrating more on the upper half, and it's going to get lighter as it and fewer lines towards the bottom. And then I'm taking that lighter green, this is 1089, and I'm really kind of pressing hard, burnishing that color in there. And it also kind of helps like fade it out a little bit. All right, now working on the top portion of the water. I think I'm going to use the oil pastels again. I think I can get kind of a better mix of colors and then really, kind of show the highlights and reflections of the different colors. I thought about using color pencils, but then decided to try out the oil pastels. I will use a pink color pencil though for the pink reflection down at the bottom of the flamingos. But yeah, I'm going to start with a white and I'm just going to add that and blend that out first. And then this dark teal green or that blue green is going to be at the very back of the flamingos, so right where that grass line is. I'm just going to kind of drag it along the edge there. And I can bring down a few pieces, but yeah, then I'll just, again, use my finger and smudge it, kind of working it down. This will help create and give it more depth. All right, now I want it to pick up some of the greens from the leaves. So I'm going to use a little bit of green in here. And as you can see, I'm kind of just playing, going back and forth between colors, smudging it out and seeing what needs more color or more shadows to help create that kind of lagoon water. All right, got some darker yellows and like kind of dark orange and a red just to give some depth to the flowers and the petals. All right, I'm also going to take some of these paint pens and just to kind of brighten up some of these centers. All right, well, this is all done and I love it. The pinks and greens are just a great color combination. And I think the water just looks so pretty, picking up all those different colors. The background waterfall was a nice little touch to help create this tropical paradise vibe. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope this has inspired you today to create something tropical. Wishing you a fun summer. I'll see you next time.